you guys doing? My name is Josie. I'm an electronic musician, producer, and NYU professor for electronic music production and music software. Today I'll be talking about the Maschine Plus and how to use it with an external audio interface. In my case, I'm using the Soundcraft Signature MTK22 and it's being hooked up my Maschine Plus via USB. I've been telling you guys that I'm trying to make the videos a little bit shorter, so without further ado, let's get to it. So the first thing that we need to do is we physically need to connect whatever audio interface we're using to the Maschine Plus via any of the available 2 USB ports in the back. I've opted to use the top one. I have a blue USB cable connected to it. I'm sure you guys can see it, but that's what I've opted to do. Now, even though we've connected that USB cable, the machine still does not know that we want to use that audio interface. It will still be working with its internal audio interface. So to change that, we go into the settings button right here. Just click on it and we can see that the setting has 8 pages of us to make different changes to the machine and so forth. I'm going to go into the audio tab or the audio option, and there I can see the interface that I'm using. In my case, I've already changed it to make it faster, but then you guys take the first knob and if you turn it, you can switch between whatever audio interface you need to use. Some people use more than one. Okay, in my case, I'm only using one, so it'll be either the internal of the machine or the MTK. So I've selected MTK. Go ahead, guys, choose the one you're using. Fantastic. Now, while we're here, what I want to mention is that the audio page has a lot of options to choose from. It actually has 6 pages. If you guys take a look right here, and the way to move through pages is by using the arrows right above settings and the power button. Now, if I go to the right, I can see all my inputs that are available in my Maschine Plus, and I can also see all my outputs that are available. And I can change the routing if I wanted to. I'm going to leave it at default. There's no need for me to change it. But what I want to stress while I'm here, or kind of bring up, because we're actually going to cover it later, is that the way that the inputs and outputs in Maschine work, they work in pairs. So external output number 1 will have 2 inputs, and it would also have 2 outputs. They'll be the same, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so now if I were to use the machine in general, the master is always assigned to external 1, which is 1 and 2. Okay, doesn't mean I can't change it, but just that's the default, 1 and 2. And external 2 will be 3 and 4, external 3 will be 5 and 6, and so on. You guys get the gist, but we'll cover that a little bit more. Let's do it. So now we're all set up. The machine knows that we're using an external audio interface, and with that said, if we take a look here, I'm in the plugin tab. I'm going to hit the channel button right here. You guys can see that the master is assigned to external 1. So any group that's assigned to the master will be heard on external 1, which is output 1 and 2 on my signature. On my signature, I'm actually using channel 1 for the microphone. So you're only going to hear channel 2, but I have it panned down the center so you'll be able to hear it. Let me hit play so you guys can hear that. Here, external 1 has 2 outputs, 1 and 2. Now, I'm only using one group here, right? So what I want to do for this example is to take the sounds within that group and assign them different outputs on my mixer so I can mix them. Example, my kick will be on output number 3, my snare will be on 4, my other hi-hats on 5, and so forth. Now, don't get it wrong. Some people prefer to mix by stems, and what I mean by that, they take all the drums and they put them on group A. Maybe they'll take the basses on group B, their keys on C, and the vocals on 4, and then what they'll do is they'll assign group 1 or A to external 1, which is 1 and 2, group B to external number 2, which will be 3 and 4, group 3 external number 3, 5 and 6, and you guys get the picture. Okay, so in any case, since I'm only using one group, I want to assign again the sounds to the individual outputs. So I'm going to go into the sounds up here. Okay, and I'm going to click on the first sounds I want to assign. Okay, now I want to make sure that I'm in my output here. So sounds, scroll over to your output to assign, click on the pad that you want to assign an output to, go to the destination here at the bottom, and in my case, I'm going to use external number 2, which is going to give me access to outputs 3 and 4. Okay. If I leave it panned to the center, that means that the kick will be heard on outputs 3 and 4. I don't want that, so I'm going to take my panning and I'm going to turn it to my left so it'll come out of output 3. So if I were to play it now, we can hear that it is coming out of channel number 3 or output number 3. And if I were to mute that channel and leave channel number 4 on, you guys can see that we're not hearing it on channel 4 because of the panning that we did on external number 2. Now I'm going to take the snare that I have here, okay, and I want to assign that one to external 2 as well, and that one I'll pan to the right. I already had it pan, but you guys get the picture. I'll pan it to the right side, and you guys can already hear that we are hearing it on channel 4. And on channel 3 is the kick. So now we have kick and snare on channel 3 and 4, external number 2. And let's do a hi-hat. There seems to be a hi-hat here. Let's take that one and we'll do external number 3. We'll pan that one to the left. And we're hearing that one. And let's see what's here on the right. I don't remember what it was. That's an open hat. Let's do that one as well. External number 3. And that one will go to the right. As you guys can see, I already have it panned. Okay. And I've done some other stuff just for the sake of hurrying up the video. Okay, there are other sounds like this one here. Number 5. Okay. Okay. And let's take the loop here and change it. So that is a great way to use an external audio interface. And the cool thing about it is that now you have options to mix. For example, now I can play this and mix as I go along. So basically that is how you set up an external audio interface to the Maschine Plus, and it gives you great options. I particularly like the Soundcraft Signature MTK22 as an addition to the Maschine Plus because it does have a lot of outputs, and it does have 2 built-in audio effects on it as well. It does have its limitation, obviously it doesn't have inserts and all this stuff, but if you're just looking to get started and kind of get into mixing and that kind of thing, it's a good feature to have, you know, a good mixer to have. So recap, first thing we need to do, connect it physically with a USB cable to any of the USB ports in the back, go into settings, assign it in the settings, and then decide how you want to work. Do you want to use the groups to route to the mixers or to your external audio interface, or do you want to do individual sounds? All up to you. And you do that by going into the channel. If you're doing groups, you would go into groups, obviously. Make sure you're in the output and assign the output to whatever external option you want. Okay, if you're doing sounds, then go into the sounds, choose the group that you want to assign, hit the pad that you want to assign, and select which output you're using. All up to you. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Again, my name is Josie, and thank you for stopping by. See you soon. Ciao.
Querida mamá, no llores más, como hija te canto, te llanto. Querida mamá, tu sacrificio sí vimos, tu amor sí sentimos. Querida mamá, no llores más, oye mi canto. Querida mamá, olvidaría mi vida, gracias por darle mi vida. You know that life could be so cold y tan llena de calor.